What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? Just Saturday night, 6:30. I was going to do this at 1 this afternoon, but I had some stuff that I had to do to kind of prepare because I changed my mind what I wanted to do tonight. And it's all because of I guess it was another podcast from four fishermen. They're with Major League Fishing. One of my what used to be one of my favorites, um, Jacob Wheeler, and you got Daniel. What's his name? Mark Daniels. Mark Daniels, and then you got Dustin Cornell. These guys are some pretty damn good fishermen. But the whole big issue with me, so I've been a bass fisherman for a long time, and I was a little ticked off. I liked it, but didn't like when the split came. So as we get into this, it's all going to be about what's been beaten to death, and that's that four forward face sonar. All right, so let's rock and roll. No, people. So what's going on? So today I wanted to talk about it because I mean I'm really not a I do some local tournaments, but I really haven't done it in the longest time. I think I'm going to get it back. I've been talking so much bass fishing and listening to so much about bass fishing in this last off season that I think I'm gonna do some tournaments this year. It's with an older club that I used to be with, and they're called Wednesday Only Club. And the big issue that I keep hearing, and I was on the fence with it. And if anybody thinks I'm against technology, you can see what I'm doing. Laptop, I got the roadcaster, I got lights. I mean, like I'm not against technology. And I can tell you one of the first times that I really enjoyed it when it come to bass fishing. Bass fishing all the time for me, just from starting out with me and my buddy Nort, just walking around, getting tick infested by just walking the bank and doing wherever we could go to go fishing. And fell in love with it. Just like a lot of these guys now in Maryland, they're all about the snakeheads and everything. But bass fishing was a big deal to me. You wanted to learn everything you possibly could to catch these freaking green fish. And so I really got into watching the elites, watching the pros. Like I was there watching Kevin Van Dam's first um, tournament when he came in and how he was dominant. And I know there's all kind of technology that has come up, but I really took when the split happened in I think it was 19 or something like that. All my favorite guys went to Major League Fishing, and that was really the last time I watched the Classic. Watching the Classic was a day that you almost put the whole day, you watch it the whole weekend. You're always on Bass Live. And when I talk about technology, one of my favorite, when I remember about technology with, um, oh, let me see, we got some comments in here. I'm sorry. Um, oh, the privilege for forward sonar mode. The, uh, the technology was great it's still great. And it was great then because so it was just about the beginning when they were actually starting to put this because TV, whenever you watched it on TV and ESPN, was always like a week after or maybe 2 weeks after the classic or whatever tournament you were watching. You got to watch it like a week afterwards. So I remember they were putting it on live, and they were on the Upper Chesapeake Bay, and I got to I got to take my phone and I got to cast that live to my 50-inch screen TV and watch Aaron Martins in Middle River fish the same places that I fished and watch him pull 7 pounders and I never realized back then how important your tides were. Back then I just went fishing, didn't matter what time. Here, being on the Eastern Shore now, I mean, you really got if you're it's all about outgoing tide, and we put our schedules towards tide, but I got to watch him fish and listen to him um, talk about him fishing Middle River, the place that we always fished around Gunpowder and Middle River, and how he explained how, on his graph he showed, which was technology, he literally had the tide chart on his graph. And I thought that was freaking awesome. And he says when he's talking about tide and stuff like that, it's all about, hey, we need the tide to be right here. And he points that on his graph. And I watch him knock that out of the park. And that's what I like about technology. But today, I did something a little different. I'm going to show you some stuff. I got it on my YouTube channel, but I'm going to take it off afterwards. But I got two videos that I'm going to go over. One is with Josh Jordan. He's a YouTuber, and he says basically his whole career and everything that he's made and the way he's made it is because of this technology. That's the only way he catches fish. And he's going to explain it. He's going to explain what he thinks. And once I heard him, I was on the other side of the fence. We're talking about professional bass fishermen, the best of the best. Guys that spent 20 years learning the craft. And the way I hear it, this technology is really waking their eyes up to some things they never even realized, and they're learning more about fish. But I think that's where the fish is almost at a disadvantage. As you can say, if you're going to be a professional fisherman, I got so upset watching Atifo show me his rig this year. I was watching him walk, and once he got through the front of his rig, I just turned it off. Seth Fielder, I watched the interview with him on the same podcast that you're going to see Josh Jordan on. And I'm going to set this up. Let me set this up real quick. Hey, what's up, JJ? Sleeper Barbecue, what's up? Just give me a second as I switch over real quick. No, that's not what I want to do. We are going to add this, my man here. All right, this is Josh Jordanson, and he's on a podcast with Trait and the Zaldine. He's on the Elite Series. When they split, he never left. He never left the Bass. He stayed with Bass while all the big guys left, like Kevin Van Dam and Aaron Martins and all them guys. Hackney, Christie, all them guys left. And what I liked about Major League Fishing when he left, and they don't do it no more, but the whole thing that I was really liked is that they would take these guys and put them on a lake that they've never been to before, or some of them been there, but they wouldn't know where they were going. And when they get a map at the beginning, and then they got like 15 minutes, half an hour, whatever it is, they have to break down a map. And I used to enjoy listening to these guys break down the maps, break down where they're going to start at, how they're going to start, and why they're going to start. I always like that when you come to bass fishing, any kind of fishing. If you got a professional and he's going to explain to you why he's going here, whether it be clear water, dark water, birds around, you're always looking for the crane sitting on a bird sitting on a thing waiting for bait because you're looking for bait. So this guy here explains, like I say, he's a YouTuber, and he explains what he thinks about it, and he makes his living off of it. He does guide tours. He's going to explain that he's a guide in Texas. He's going to talk about the good and the bad, and he makes a living off of it. So he hates talking bad about it, but I'm just going to let you listen to it. So I'm going to break in and out of here and let you listen to it and get your comments, whatever you think. I got a couple of these. So let's let him play. Listen to a little bit. I'll stop it every once in a while.
What are the stats for this year? Do you remember?
84 double digits.
84 double digits in 2023.
And I fished.
So what that means is that in 2023, he's got 84 fish, double digits, over 10 pounds, in double digits bass. That's what he said, just in 2023.
I haven't fished more than 90 days.
That's insane.
Does it get old catching as many big fish as you have?
It sounds weird. Yeah, kind of. But watching someone else do it, that's what keeps me motivated. That's what keeps me going. After, I don't know the number. I think I'm at 184 now, actually, double digits.
Total.
For me.
That so is after.
And that's you personally, what you've caught.
That's the boat. On my boat.
So even if you've guided someone.
So I'm including that too.
Yep.
So here's the stat that everyone wants to know. So out of 184, how many do you think were caught outside of the beam?
Not looking at the screen?
Yeah.
Probably 10.
10. I was going to say 10 of them.
Probably 10.
That's insane,
Not
dude.
many.
So you
well,
were
probably more than that.
Yeah.
2022, the summer, we were throwing big swim baits.
Yeah.
Caught,
oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
We caught a lot of big
old school
bass.
blind casting stuff I used
Graph
to.
off.
Yeah.
So man, I've been crappie fishing the last week, catching tons, graph off.
Really?
That's why I've been so addicted to it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of weird me talking about it because I am who I am today because of forward facing sonar. So I hate to be negative towards it. I mean, without that, I don't even have a job right now.
Right.
I love it. It's great. I'm going to always use the next best thing that comes out for myself, for my clients, whatever. But from my standpoint, coming from the crappie world, I mean, it took really, there were some amazing fishermen out there. There was amazing fishermen that had their own home lakes.
Yeah.
I would show up, wake up late, not hardly pre-fish at all, go out there and beat them.
Literally. And these guys are the guys with 10 years, 15, 20 years of experience, studying maps, going to the high spots. I found a tree on down 2D sonar that I keep on going to. And you're beating these guys.
There was a team, they won 8 or 9 national championships, and that was like my main deal is I want to beat them. And I went in, I was nervous. I didn't want to embarrass myself. Dude, I would just beat them every time by 3, 4, 5 pounds.
Just wake up and go.
Not even have any knowledge on nothing. I would literally show up, put my screen in the water, and go out there and catch them. I never did any really Google search. I didn't do much. I was the guy who woke up late and came in early.
That is awesome.
Pre-fishing, and I would still. I mean, I won several national events because I
don't know. What do you think? He's pretty much saying right there, right then and there about how he can just go. And they said, I got another podcast with the other guys, and they're saying if you think that somebody's just putting down their trolling motor and their graph and going down, that's not true. It's not true that they can just go in there and do that. And he's pretty much proven my point that I think the professional fishermen, just like if hold on one second, just come on, there we go. Just like if a baseball player, they don't let you play with aluminum bats, you can't take steroids. They're going to talk about that. If you're a NASCAR guy, what do you do with NASCAR? I mean, it's really about the driving because all the cars should be the same. You're not allowed more, you're not allowed less, So I really think that I think it should be limited. I think there's a point now where you got down scan, you got side scan, and I really believe that this front facing sonar, because there's guys I know can't compete.
I was good at looking at the screen.
So the guys who I think like 6 or 7 of the 9 elites this year were won on forward facing sonar.
So before I go any further, this is Trait, and that's I forgot his name. There's Zeldine. He's an elite bass fisherman. He's a pro. He's been a pro. They're from California. And he comes in and fishes the elite series, and he's really, I mean, when he came on the scene, he was absolutely just a hammer. You always heard him coming up because he was up and comer, but they didn't. So I just want you to know they have their own podcast. It's called The Bilge. You can see it right there, The Bilge. That's their podcast. So if you want to talk about bass fishing and Trait, I just want you to know Trait really loves Jacob Wheeler. That's probably her favorite guy.
Even like the shallow water power ones like Seminole in Florida and stuff like that. And there's a lot of new names, like guys who hadn't won before this technology came out, and now they're like all of a sudden top 10 in AOI and stuff. When you watch that as someone who is really good at what you do with that technology, do you hold them in the same respect as other elite fishermen that have won in the past?
It's different because there is a technique to forward facing sonar. There's a skill.
Right.
Not everyone's good at it. Not everyone's caught 184 double digits, it's its own special technique and skill. And it is, especially the first couple of years it comes out, it's so much fun.
Yeah.
I mean, it's different.
Yeah.
But after a while, I'm to the point now, it's getting kind of old.
And it's dominating.
It's dominating. I'm seeing these 10, 11, 12-pound fish. I don't even care.
Yeah.
I think now it's more impressive a dude going out throwing a big swim bait, catching a 10-pounder than someone catching a 50-pound stringer on forward-facing sonar.
So with the question of should it be banned?
This guy, as much as he uses, Josh, he uses this for his living, his YouTube channel. He teaches you how to use it. Forfeit has ruined bass fishing, just my opinion. It is. I mean, Ben, I'm telling you, it's one of them things that, you know, at first, you know, I'm not, you know, they said the same thing. They were explaining. I got another video. This is kind of about an 18-minute video that I cut up, and the other one I cut up a little bit, but these were four professionals in there talking about it. You got one guy says he loves it. I mean, if you can sit down and you'll hear them explain that these fish, some of these fish that they call it a 20-80. So 20% of the fish are the ones that are getting absolutely pounded, absolutely getting hammered all the time. And there's 80% where you have this one fish has been down sitting 30 feet that's never been messed with or really touched or anything. Now he's not safe. None of these. So I think if you're going to be a professional, I mean, I guess if you're a guide, I mean, that's, you know, they keep talking about they're saying in this video, you're going to hear that some of the crappy fishermen, fishing places have been destroyed because you just, once you kind of find some, and the thing with this is you can tell what kind of fish are, once you get good at it, he'll explain to you here that you can pretty much tell what fish is what, and you can tell the size about how much it weighs. You know what I mean? He said if he don't think it's at least a 10-pounder, he won't even fish for it. I mean, that's I think they shouldn't have it as a professional. I'll tell you honest truth. I'll be really honest with you. When I never knew what a hydro wave was. If nobody knows what a freaking hydro wave is, a hydro wave is the one to, you know, put on the front of a boat. It's a little gadget on the front of your boat. And what it will do when you press it, it will make sounds or waves or whatever inside there that actually, like if you go into a cove and you don't see a lot of bait fish, what could happen is that you could put this on there and change the sounds of different fish and everything, and pretty much pretend there's a feeding frenzy going on, or pretend that there's something going on, activity, and you can actually activate the fish kind of. And I'm thinking, that's horse crap. You are a professional guy. Why would you need anything like that? Wonder what. All right. All right, my garage door shutting. But so that's my opinion. I think, and I'm going to talk through this. I'm going to let them talk because this is about a 20-minute video.
On the elites. If you were Chase Anderson, and with all your knowledge of forward-facing sonar, and you have watched the sport, you do watch Bass Live, you understand fishing at a high level, do you think that it's their job to ban it as a leader, or to keep it and allow the fisheries and the state wildlife departments to make those decisions?
I think banning is kind of a harsh word.
Right.
Ban. I don't like the name ban. You know,
Banning in a tournament setting
yeah.
only.
So I don't like the idea of there being every tournament one with it, because that is going to eliminate the old school natural fishermen from the old
Fun to
days,
watch,
the
even-
actual good fishermen.
Yeah.
Yeah, Van
Intuition.
Dam
Yeah.
watched his side scan, and
Yeah,
you
yeah.
can make all those arguments. They were
Yeah.
catching them on 2D.
But you
Yeah.
still had
This
to
is
have
different.
you
Yes.
still had to have
Yes.
intuition.
But now it takes intuition out.
right?
All you got to do is go put your trolling motor down and scan around until you find one. Then you throw at it. As long as you present your bait fine,
Yep.
you're going to catch that fish. I just don't like it in tournaments at all.
right.
Now you got people literally only using forward-facing sonar.
Yeah.
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 No intuition.
Yeah.
They were
You
saying
can argue there's no skill. I can argue look what I've done.
So right.
I
right.
can 100% admit I wouldn't have done what I did if I wasn't good at forward-facing sonar. Man, I love doing it.
Mhm.
I love the technology, but in a tournament setting, I don't think the tournament should be fully based on who's best at reading the screen.
Yeah.
Right,
That's all.
It's kind of weird, right? Like if you got a good swim bait guy, he's usually not dominant in all 9 tournaments. Or if you got a good, some guy who fishes, in a
Square bill or flipper, right?
Yeah, they don't necessarily dominate all year, but
I mean, that's another thing is what they're talking about is that whenever you go to different kind of lakes, every lake would set up for the guy that's that flips grass, or maybe it's a guy that is really good at docks, or certain guys that are good at that, throwing a wacky rig, flipping a jig, crankbait. David Fritz can sit down there, even though he can find a spot. You're not actually, you might be seeing a bunch of fish down there, but you're not literally watching it on screen. You're not watching them. I mean, you're literally playing with it's a game almost. And so that's why if you listen to him, he's going to explain. I think this would probably be a good idea. Maybe do half and half, I guess.
Cheers saw that.
Yeah.
If you're good at this,
9 out
you
of 10
can
tournaments.
dominate every tournament. So now it is like okay, what's going on here? So I see that in the comments a lot. Like, if you're gonna ban this, then you got to ban sign imaging and down imaging and all that. Why is it different?
This is real time. I can throw out a fish, present it perfectly 3 inches from his head. He doesn't eat, set it down, go present another bait perfectly. He doesn't eat. I can do that with 3, 4, 5 different baits. The side imaging, once you side image, okay, I see a brush pile. I see 10 fish over here. Let's mark it, swing back, and then
blindly cast to that
Use
area.
your intuition, okay?
And that's what Kevin did for so long.
It's hard enough to mark a spot and then go cast to that spot.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Yeah.
But now you put the trolling motor down, you scan it. Okay, I need to throw right there. And ultimately, I hate even talking about it because I love my active target.
Yeah.
Dude, it's like, I love it.
Yeah.
But there's going to be a time where it's going to hurt fisheries, especially in these summer tournaments. I've never seen so many dead big bass in my entire life this year on social media. People are getting better with it.
Yep.
They're catching bigger fish. They're throwing them in the live well when there shouldn't be tournaments in the middle of summer in the South.
Yep.
You got mid 80s to high 80s, 90-degree water. These fish aren't going to survive. And if they do, they're going to get fungus and all kinds of infections 3-4 days later, and they're going to die a week later or whatever. I mean, more people are catching bigger bass than ever before.
Yeah.
And it's going to affect, I mean, look,
populations.
You can't go to the lake on a weekend and not see 100 boats around here in Texas, man.
I hopped in your boat every single spot. And I was sitting back just watching and learn. I wanted to learn. I was your client that day. And the first thing I was like, why don't you use Mega 360? Like, Mega 360 is the shit. Why don't you run it? He goes, I don't need that. This is my 360. This is my scanning. I just use my foot, right? And it's right there.
So
but the other thing, the thing that impressed me the most, every single spot you pulled up to, I looked at your map. I'm not like recording where you're at. And I could care less. I want to know what type of spots you were pulling up to. And the contours were nothing, nada, flats, just flats. There was no beautiful point. There was no drop off. There was no ledge. All the things for 13 years of professional bass fishing, I said, hey, stay away from that. That looks like crap. You pulled up to it, scanned around, catching 8, 9, 10 pounders. That's what trips me out.
It did open up a lot of fish that we weren't able to catch.
Yeah.
Obviously.
While we're doing this, if anybody's in here, like to go over to my YouTube channel, it's Outdoors of Maryland, the same as my Facebook, and go subscribe would be awesome, and hit the like button. If you hit the like button and you kind of stay as long as you can, I know people go in and out during these podcasts and stuff, but if you can hit that like button, the more people hit that like button, that will just let more people watch this video in live. All right, thank you. Yeah. Thank you.
But I don't know. I'm so torn with it because I'm always going to use it.
Yeah.
I hate to talk bad about it and then go out there and
use it, right?
Yeah, and profit off of it.
Yeah.
But
we're talking about a tournament.
Right.
I don't think the basis of a professional tournament angler should be based on what well you can read.
Yeah.
A forward-facing sonar screen.
As
so it's all of it. So from a conservation standpoint, and I think bass has done well. I think Major League Fishing's done well. I think they're trying to do well. But the people watching it, when they go do it on their own, they don't necessarily
think about those.
They don't think about that. But from a conservation standpoint, I was meeting with a state agency. Not even going to tell you what state it was. And they want to stay out of it. They don't want to make anyone mad. They don't want to piss anyone off.
Sure.
But they told me straight up, we've done numerous studies in between, I forgot the months, May and October. 70% of every bass hauled into a weigh-in dies. In a tournament, because it's just the stress, it's the warm water. So you take 3 fish tournaments, 5-boat tournaments from May to October, 70% of those fish are going to die.
Summertime.
And now they're way easier to catch, and especially target the big ones.
Yeah.
I've said it for years. When I'm fishing by myself, I don't even cast at a fish unless I think it's 10.
And that's a big problem because you can headhunt like
Oh yeah,
just the trophies.
think
yeah.
about pulling a 15, 16-year-old bass that's comfortably living in 18 to 22 feet of water where it's 10 degrees cooler or 8 degrees cooler, whatever it is. There's higher oxygen level. The pressure is different down there. You yank that 16-year-old fish out of those depths, hanging out in a live well for hours at a time. I mean, dude, that fish is not comfortable. Try doing that to a dog, taking him out of his environment and keeping him uncomfortable 3 or 4 hours at a time. Little Nebo is going to die.
It doesn't sit well with me knowing that the Kevin Van Dam's the best angler of all time.
Dude.
Can't compete with the
Right.
guy
Same
looking
here.
at his screen.
And so when people comment, well, that's their fault for not learning and you're behind with the times, what's your response to that as an angler who knows what you're doing?
It's like professional football, because Emmitt Smith was good in the 90s doesn't
Yeah.
mean he's going to go out there and be good now. He can't compete with the younger guys.
Yeah.
He's
Right.
not as agile. And
You don't
doing
think
what
it's the technology?
no, you got to be
You think
coordinated. You
you're
got to
right.
make these perfect casts. It's
You
like hitting a
do.
baseball at 90 miles an
You
hour.
do.
Not anyone's just going to you can swing a bat, but that doesn't mean you're going to hit the fish. You got to balance. Everything's happening. You got to cast. The fish is moving. I mean, it's a lot going on.
So in your opinion, forward-facing sonar is a young man's game?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Someone made the comment, I think it was Matt Heron to us, but and it kind of stuck with me a little bit. He said a kid graduating high school should not be able to come out and compete with a guy who's fished for 20 years
Wow.
and has 20 years of experience, but now they can.
I don't agree with that
Right.
necessarily.
Mhm.
Right.
You know,
It's all
I
about
like to think I was pretty good when I was coming out of high school too.
Yeah.
That's what I did my whole entire life.
Sure.
You know, I'm not saying I could have competed with.
Yeah. But he's saying
know.
that with forward-facing sonar, now they can.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And he thinks that that's not right.
That hurts. That
do
hurts.
you agree
Man,
with that?
I mean, that's why
That
let's allow it in half and not
Right.
allow it in half, and let's see where they end up.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Because they still have to prove in this half
Right.
that they're good enough.
But to me, if you're saying we should ban it in half of them, you're admitting that maybe there's an issue with
It's
it.
a significant advantage being a young person and using forward-facing sonar.
Savvy, like
Significant difference.
Yeah.
So what do you guys think? Leave a comment. Do you think maybe if you're in a tournament that you should do half and half? I mean, that's pretty good. That gives, half the year I can use it, half not. I'm thinking that the forward facing shouldn't be there. I don't know. I don't know. I just don't think if you're as a professional, I don't believe that you should have it. You should know the habits of a bass, and maybe you don't know as much. Maybe you're learning more now, but you know, I just don't think as a professional fisherman you should have that on there. I just really don't. I think it's almost like cheating. I mean, you're supposed to know everything about this fish. A lot of people, they know everything about baseball. They know everything about driving. I mean, if you're drag racing and you don't put a 11-second car with a freaking fuel car, I mean, it's like you don't do that. So I wouldn't say you make it even. Well, but I just think that there's a certain point where you need to say, okay, all right, look, they already got that one that you can actually see in foot, the camera down there you can see. I mean, the one guy, so the one guy has, I don't know what kind of glasses they are. I don't know if that's that big thing that sticks on top of your head, but he's got that. He's on his bass boat, professional, and he can actually sit there and don't have to sit down and look at a screen. He can sit there with this glasses on his freaking face. No, there are certain kind of glasses that you can still see out, but you can see your screen inside of your glasses. I mean, they're going to have they're going to be sitting in a driver's seat and let a robot fish for them soon.
There's kids now guiding in West Texas that ain't never fished these lakes before, and they're catching just as big as bass as I am. I've been using this technology for 8 years, and I've been guiding in West Texas for 3. Now you see a guy over there. He's on a hump, whatever. Now someone can see that person
Yep.
and go right behind him when he leaves and
And
find
find those
exactly what
fish.
he was doing.
Yep.
Just like crappie. That's what
Right.
really turned me off the crappie tournaments. You would find a little special something, whether it's a little stump field or brush pile or whatever, which used to be kind of hard to find.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You go, you catch your tournament fish, whatever, you leave, the next day there's 3 guys on it or whatever. There's no skill now in actually necessarily finding these spots. Now there's so many people just following each other,
Mhm.
and it's 1,000 times easier to locate these
Do
fish
you
with what
Yeah.
I can catch fish in Florida. I did catch fish in
You
Florida
did. You sent me pictures.
in shallow water,
Mhm.
in hydrilla, using forward-facing sonar. Like, the better people get, the more they're gonna catch. It's not stopping, which is great. I'm gonna always use it. I'm gonna clarify, I'm gonna always use it, but it's cool now because
Mhm.
there's the pros are good with it and a few
It
people are good with it, but wait till
Ev-
thousands and thousands
everyone.
and thousands of people
That's
are good with
scary.
it. Then there's gonna be a conservation issue.
Oh yeah.
The states are gonna have to figure it out. The tournament trails are gonna have to figure it out. These tournament trails right now, they're having tournaments every weekend
Right.
in the middle of summer.
Yep.
But going forward, I feel like the top 10 is gonna definitely get younger and younger and
Yeah.
younger.
It's definitely done that this year.
And
Like
that's
look at
the
the opens.
dude,
I mean,
that's the cool thing about fishing though. A
Right.
70-year-old Rick Clunn can go out there. He won a tournament, what, 3 years ago?
Mhm.
Yeah.
And compete.
He's
Mhm.
won 2 in the last, 10 years,
Yeah.
8 years.
He absolutely cannot compete the way it is right now.
I know.
He just completely
It's crazy.
threw out a whole group of people, even people wanting to come
Wait-
fish the opens. I don't think that it should be like a bunch of 20 to 30-year-olds fishing the opens. I think,
Do you think that that's a legitimate concern? Like that's
yeah,
what's going to happen? Like Bass is
absolutely.
going to lose people signing up for tournaments that don't play that
Just
game.
like the
I
crappie
agree.
game.
I think so. I
You've
think
seen
so
it in
too.
There
crappie?
used to be 250 boat crappie tournaments.
All ages, the whole spectrum
Yeah.
of age groups. Yep.
And there'd be 75-year-olds, there'd be kids out there.
Yep.
And now
Yep.
they know they can't compete.
Yep.
They know they don't have the movement and the what's the word I'm looking for? Ability
Yeah.
to do it, and they don't even enter. I just don't like the idea of Kevin Van Dam retiring
Yeah.
because he can't compete with something, and that's
Yeah.
exactly what
What
happened.
happened?
And that's going to happen with a lot of people, and that's going
Yeah.
to happen with hundreds of tournament anglers throughout the country,
Yep.
fishing a local tournament or fishing whatever, because they can't compete and they're not going to go donate their money. And from my standpoint, I don't like the idea of someone being a professional fisherman because they're good at reading a forward-facing sonar screen. That's the
Period.
only thing I got. If they do 4 tournaments forward-facing, 4 tournaments not, and whoever wins might be a young kid, great.
Yeah.
Right.
But I can guarantee you, almost guarantee, those guys that are dominating with forward-facing sonar aren't going to dominate up shallow, and I can almost guarantee
Oh,
it.
Yeah,
yeah.
zero intuition, right?
Yeah. So, including myself,
Right.
Right.
I like to think I'm pretty good,
Yeah.
but I'm not going to go up shallow with whoever and beat them.
Yeah.
It's just not going to happen. I would allow it in half of the events. I would not allow it in half of the events. That's fair to the guys that are good with it because they can still, if they're good with it, then go prove that they're good up shallow too.
Right.
That would be fair to the older guys because you might not have to do well in the forward-facing events because
Mhm.
you can still catch them without it. It
Right.
would be fair to the electronics companies.
But then one of the conversations was like on Champlain, there were some guys who were fishing the old school way who were catching what in any other Champlain tournament was a phenomenal bag, like a great bag. But this year, because people are out in the abyss catching giant smallies, like not even cashing a check.
I've seen lakes completely destroyed from forward-facing sonar in the crappie world, completely destroyed. And it took a lake being destroyed for people to figure out, wow, we destroyed it. We need to do better. I don't want it to get to that point, and these tournament organizations are getting the most
Deleted.
views.
You're right.
People
What's up? Okay. So I think you guys get the gist of it. My dogs are out there barking like nuts right now. So for me, I was going to play this other video. I think I'm going to do it. I'm going to scroll back out of here and go to my other one. Let me play this real quick. So these guys here are these are from the MLF. This guy Jacob Wheeler, absolute hammer. Hold on one second. I'm sorry, we're having technical difficulties. I'm sitting here, and I have 3 dogs out there. We're going to try to get the old lady that's downstairs to shut these knuckleheads up while they're down there. Okay. All right, whatever it is, my wife must be out there with somebody. That's why they're going crazy. All right. So this video here is with the 4 guys. This is Jacob Wheeler right here. And I got my thing on. This is Mark Daniels. This is I know him. I watch him all the time. Dustin Cornell. And then you have Adrian. I don't know Adrian Avina. Adrian right here is right next to right over here. You got Dustin right here. You got Jacob Wheeler right here, Mark Daniels, and you got Adrian. These guys were at MLF. This podcast was 2 days ago, and I listened to it. And really, the main part about these guys, I'm gonna play a little bit of it, and like I said, so Dustin can't understand why people are bitching about it. I don't think people's bitching about the technology. What I think people are bitching about is that these guys are professional. These guys are professionals. These guys are professionals, and I don't think they need all this damn equipment to need all the equipment that they have. I mean, they literally have 3 and they have like 5 screens on their boat, 5 of them. And it's just, I think I just think there's a point. I'm gonna play this a little bit, and I'm gonna skip through it to some of the good parts.
And there's such an obsession about this. I don't really know. We're going to keep it pretty uncut. Me and Jacob may argue a little bit. I'm excited about it.
I'm excited.
We're talking about the black box, not the one on the airplane.
Not him.
Not him. We're talking about 4-phase sonar. Everybody that, in my opinion, it's the most hottest topic. It's been out for 6 years. It's the hottest, oldest topic in bass fishing.
Yeah, it's been out. It's been out for 6 years, but it's only gotten better. They're explaining. I mean, it's getting so point that these guys can pick out fish, what kind of fish they are, how big they are, and it's just gotten that point. And I don't think that this should be. I'm gonna beat it to death, but they shouldn't have. They're better. They're better fishermen.
I mean, in my opinion,
Yeah.
I think it's went mainstream now. There's more people. I would say over the past 6 years, there was like a 20% niche on anglers. Like 20% of people were using it. Now 120% are really taking advantage of it.
Well, we all have it. Everybody ain't taking advantage.
Well, exactly. We all have it. It's all accessible.
Sure.
To
I don't think there's a single boat on tour with us.
Yes.
That does not have.
I'll be honest with y'all. I'm gonna shoot you some straight facts. Now, no offense if you don't have it or not. I mean, it doesn't really matter. You can still catch fish without it. I do all the time. Sure. I did this week.
Yeah.
Grew up without it. We've won tournaments without it. It is what it is. It's just another tool in the box. I've now pulled up to a tournament to a gas station here in Alabama, at least, that did not have that kind of technology on the boat. Side engine, down engine, 4-phase sonar. Every single one of those guys, Alabama guys, they got them, and they're getting really, really well with it. We're learning so much about bass fishing.
Yeah,
it's unbelievable how much I've learned and how, what's the word I'm looking for? Pelagic. That a lot of fish
nomadic,
are. Nomadic, pelagic. They got tails. They swim.
Yeah.
Never really knew how much they swim. My goodness. So anyway, enough of me talking. I am gonna say this. This is a hot subject. We just want to touch on it just a little bit, get a little bit of thoughts, kind of mill around. And my opinion on it, I think it's the best thing that's ever happened to bass fishing, in my opinion.
I'm sorry. I don't think it's the best thing ever happened to bass fishing. I think, especially professional bass fishing, I don't agree with that at all.
I'm not trying to be biased. I just I've had a lot of success with it. I've had success without it.
Mhm.
I've just learned so much about what these fish do and trying to understand their habits. And I love doing it. It's one of my favorite things to do. And I love learning. I will say this, as an angler, I think we never stop learning.
Yeah.
You have to always keep learning. I don't care what it is.
Yeah, for sure.
And now we have this available. But what's all the hype about? Well, what's everybody whining? What's all this crying about? My God.
Well, it's because you're a professional, buddy. You supposedly are a professional, and you shouldn't need that to be able to compete. But I think that if a lot of these guys didn't have this technology, these guys here would. I don't know if the one guy here, his name is Adrian. I don't think Adrian. I don't know his background, but I know I've seen Jacob fish. I've seen Mark fish. I've seen these guys fish without it. So I believe that you're a professional. You shouldn't need it, and especially in a tournament. I think it's you guys are better than that.
Well, I mean, I think this is the thing. Okay, if you go back in the sport, you look back. Okay, so throughout the years, technology has always been a part of the sport to an extent. When you look at it, and that's the best way to look at it. So, like, you look at a flasher. David Fritz utilizing a flasher back in the day and understanding cranking a post 300, post 400 on stumps and points and finding schools of fish before anybody knew there were schools of bass out there.
Mm-hmm.
Then all of a sudden going down to 2D, man, I'm sure there was a lot of flack over, oh, you got that dang 2D.
Mm-hmm.
And then that was a huge ordeal. I'm sure, and I wasn't during that era. But probably the biggest impact, in our lifetime up to this point was side imaging and down imaging.
Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
And so look at Alton Jones winning the Classic on Hartwell, side imaging, like broken timber on the inside timber line on a football jig. So that's how he caught him. That was sort of like the start of the side imaging craze. Kevin obviously dominated. This sport has always been to an extent, all the way from David Fritz on, Paul Ice on, has always been dominated by the anglers that adapt and learn the new technology and understand it before everybody else.
100%.
So look at Thrift. Thrift's a great example of this. Thrift's the best, and I'll be honest with you, the best at using 360. Is he the best at using forward-facing sonar? No, he's not. But he was unbelievable, and he always had a leg up on the competition because he understood his 360 better than anybody else.
He knew his cast.
Mm-hmm.
He knew
He knew his rate
exactly
of
where
fall.
everything was at.
He knew everything.
He knew holes in grass.
Absolutely did.
He literally watched that thing and understood the lay.
Well, that's kind of how Scott Martin won the tournament 2 weeks ago. He was down in Lake Okeechobee, and he's got this 360 in his boat. He can go around, and he kept scanning, and you can see the fish, he can see the holes, and he would literally sit on a fish for the longest time. It takes patience. But it's another one, a 360. I don't know how detailed a 360 is. I don't have none of this stuff. And I don't want to take the fun. I don't know. I have mine that has down scan and side scan. I really don't. I'm just a bank beater. But what I do see and what I can see are points and flats and stuff like that. So I understand it. I really do. But I just you're still like I said, you're still watching a moving target. You're literally watching the fish live move around, and you can follow them with your trolling motor. You can literally follow the school, the fish, whatever, and present it to this fish live. I think it's bull crap. To tell you honest.
Of the land.
Instantly.
Instantly.
And he knew how to make that cast and do everything he needed to do with 360.
Yes.
So it's always sort of been that way. It's never been more apparent, though, when it's never played this much. Shallow water, deep, pre-spawn, spawn, throughout the entirety of the sport. And that's really where
what he's explaining there is that, a lot of times, when you're using that stuff, it's for deeper water, not so much shallow water. But now this 360, this forward facing stuff, you can use it anywhere. and you can get it shallow. I mean, you're literally scanning for fish. It's just you take the only skill you need to learn is how to the technique in the box. You just need to learn how to use it. Once you get good at it, I mean, you don't even need to practice. I mean, what would you need to practice for? You can go right down there and they're competing. Guys coming right out of college, coming right out of high school, 20 years old, competing with guys who've been doing it for 20 years.
I think setting us up, that's really where it's gotten a lot of flack, because it's not been one thing. Now, of course, starting the season off, you know, you're going to get a little bit, but that's, to me, like,
I bought a new kayak last year. I refuse to put any electronics on it. I want to keep it bare bones and use it the way, yep, water and yeah, I'm kind of the same way. Don't get me wrong. I got mine has a GPS. I can find the tides and everything on mine. I got side. I don't think I can tell you. I don't think I would use side scan. I've still just used 2D, like the normal little cheap. Even though I have all the other stuff, I do like some of the stuff. You know, for example, on mine you have a tracking feature where when I drive up the river, it leaves a red line behind you, so it tells you, you know, you like your track, where you've been. So something happens to me, and my wife was always scared. But if something ever happens to me on a boat, where she has to drive the boat back to where we were, and she don't know where she's going, all she has to do is follow the tracking back. You know, that's kind of I love that thing, and it'll show you tracks from where you were, where if you were fishing a certain spot or anything like that, you can leave waypoints and everything. I mean, it's very for what I got for $600 is great, but these things you're talking thousands of dollars. I really, you know what I'm going to do? Okay, I'm going to leave. I'm going to leave this video. All right, so we get the point. One thing that the reason I put these guys up here, and one of the main reasons I did, because they were talking about the 80-20 factor. And the 80-20 factor is, you know, 20% of the fish have been, you know, very pressured all these years. And then you got that 80% that really might not have been touched or really not been played with as much. Now that you have this, they say it right there. That's the point that I'm trying to make with these guys, that they pretty much said it, that now everything, you know, with these fish, if you're a tournament, it's kind of like, can, you got to give, it's like fair chase. If you have a record deer, you know, you got a whitetail or something like that. I've heard this from a YouTuber, but it's true. If you got a world record or you got a record or something like that, whatever it may be, I forgot exactly, but it's you can't. I don't know if you can like bait it. I don't know if you can use night vision. You can't. There's certain criterias that you got to have. You know, I just. But I'm going to show you when I said the walkthrough. I'm going to go to Atifo real quick. I'm going to go back and go out of this, and there's my channel. Let me go back to this real quick. Seeing this, let me see. Atifo, and I love him. The reason I love Atifo, I love Atifo because he was the one that I watched. I watched Fish Rivers. I just started doing I started fishing rivers, and it's really a fast moving tide, a fast moving current. And when you're fishing in Middle River or Seneca or Gunpowder, even though there's tide, there isn't a lot of significant movement of the water. You can see that it's getting lower or it's rising. But when you come down here to the shore and you're on a Chop Tank or you're on Marshy Hope or you're on a Nanacoke or the Waikamaco, the rivers, I mean, just they are a moving fast moving current, and it's like learning. It was just like learning all around. Was his walkthrough, and
You know, a lot of people think that in order to conceal carry,
baby. Oh.
Last few years on the Z21 XL, you've got these little day.
So you can see I didn't even get through it. And some of these guys have like five
I've got 2
transducers on their boat. 5 to catch a largemouth bass. 5 transducers. It's absolutely ridiculous.
here on the front of the boat. I'm actually in the process of moving that to where it's going to be on the trolling motor, and going to be on part of the bracket right here on the trolling motor. So really excited about the opportunity of running that live pole on my boat this year, but actually having it incorporated into the trolling motor. Now it's going to be there, and that's how I'm going to fish with it. I don't intend to motor with it there, to run down the lake or something. Hopefully to come soon, because I think that's going to be a really good way to use that live pole, make it easy to get in.
So what he has here,
water and stuff too.
so what he has here on this part right here is his live scope, where he can see the fish swimming. So what happens, I think that if he actually finds a fish that he wants to actually scan for or follow, he will unplug this and then plug it into this pole over here and use his hand to actually follow the fish and scan using his hand. It is freaking ridiculous. And I love this guy, man. He's a really good fisherman. I love watching him.
Pretty excited for that. Just not exactly what fishing. Then a little bit like I mentioned, disconnect. Just stop that one. You can literally just take a couple bolts loose, and if you need to get down into your dash,
it's
the side PH Marine.
I just tried. I mean, I just think it's absolute bull crap. I think it's kind of like bull crap to really watch this stuff, and it's just I'll leave this up in case I want to see something else. I know I'm not getting a lot of views on this one today, but I don't care much. I'm sitting here on a Saturday night, and it's all right. I'm not drinking a beer yet. But I'll keep that up there. I'll just leave my big butt right here. But I haven't been talking about bass fishing, and I think I'm going fishing tomorrow. Yellow perch are running. They're coming right by my way. This warm weather coming up. I was talking to my buddy David Cornflower, and he's talking about how by next week they should pretty much be done spawned out, and then the white perch are right behind them. So I'm going to really try to get out and see if I can do some yellow perching tomorrow. Get a nice catch and cook. If I'm trying to think what to cook. If I catch a couple of them, how should I cook it? But other than that, this is I really didn't have too much other things. I can understand why they are professionals would be use of technology. It's not against the rules. Yeah, well, that's kind of the whole point too. The whole point is that as long as they're not going to stop for anybody from using it, I mean, hey, the problem is that Kevin Van Dam, he retired this year, or last year was his last year, and I think it's really because he couldn't compete with the guys doing it, because they have a guy from Japan that's here, and he's kind of dominated, man. He's there. I think I'm watching. He's on the fishing today. I think the elites were this weekend, and he's like number 2. Yeah, I won't catch no big ones. I mean, I might keep one big one, but I'm not. I'm the only one in here that really eats fish. So if I go yellow perch fishing tomorrow, I'm just going to keep. I'll keep enough to cook tomorrow, and then maybe put a little bit up inside the freezer and stuff like that. But I just being a bass fisherman, to me, I think it's embarrassing that these guys have so much, and I know they have to use it, and they need it to compete. I mean, it's pretty much every one of them said it, that if they don't do it, they might as well just stop, and that's why I think Kevin Van Dam probably didn't just want to deal with it. But a lot of guys, Christy, I see him doing videos on how to use it, and it's just I just think it's really embarrassing that these guys that have all this knowledge do it, but if not, some 20-year-old kid's going to come in there and whoop their butt because they know how to. They've grew up, playing all these games and everything. I mean, we did. I mean, we had the tennis and Atari. We were pretty good back then. White perch are one of the best tasting fish in our waters, especially in the cold freshwater. That's been a while. I can't even remember what a white perch tastes like. Tell you the honest truth. I had the sea bass. I just did a video. Just put the video out. Yeah, if anybody's on Facebook, go to my YouTube channel, Outdoors Maryland. Go ahead and hit the like button. Even on Facebook, like it for me so we can share it out if you want. You can share it out, see if anybody wants to join. It's really a Saturday night, and I'm going to do this every Saturday. I'm telling you what, it's a little bit harder to get guests when you're a small podcaster, I guess you would say. I contacted a girl today. I kind of wanted to stick with the women. Some commercial waterman in Maine. I'm trying to get her. I got one that I really wanted to is Christine Fisher. She's a kayak professional, and I think somebody threw some, I don't know if they threw some money at her or they really threw her an absolute good offer to her because she fishes tournaments in her kayak and actually really good. I mean, she's always at 100 boats. I have never seen her less than 20. You're missing out. You haven't tried white perch from the reservoirs. Well, we're gonna taste them from the poopy the chop tank. But she's a really good fisherman, and it looks like she's going to be doing 3 open tournaments as a co-angler on a bass boat. And I think next year she's going to switch from a kayak to a boat. So I think somebody gave her a pretty good deal, good offer that she could not resist. And I don't blame her. I got a woman guide that's guides for smallmouth and snakehead. I'm trying to get her to come on. I really, I've been just trying to get the guests, and man, it's been tough going. You just got to see my pretty face. That's all it is. Every Saturday. I won't stay on here long tonight. I'm gonna go sit down and I'm gonna drink a beer tonight and chill out and watch some music on YouTube today. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna be watching YouTube. I'm gonna be finding new music. I haven't found a whole lot today. How about you, Tommy? Have you found a lot of good bands? I've seen oh, just cook it. If you cook it, you'll be fine, bud. It's like snakeheads. If you eat snakeheads and stuff, they'll have them worms in it, you know. And freshwater fish usually have more worms than they will in saltwater, don't you think? The reservoirs? Well, maybe it's the reservoirs. Maybe not. I don't know. The but I've been looking I got some new stuff. Nothing's really blowing me away yet coming to music, but I know I'm talking about fishing. I think I've made my point with the fishing. If you're a professional bass fisherman, I don't think you should have that. I think it should be limited. I think they're going to get away with it this year, but I think next year. And the problem with that, it's about money. It's just like our bay. And when it comes to the catfish, and it comes to the stripers, and it comes to the crabs, when it comes to all that, it's all about money. Whoever puts in the most money is which way they're going to go. Unfortunately, that's just a terrible truth. I really like to see some stuff. I'm going to talk more about oysters and stuff like that. Wanted to go to the Pantera and Lamb of God show tonight, but didn't want to go alone. Dude, you kind of know my situation. I wanted to go so bad tonight, but I am not going to go unless I can take my wife. If I can't take her, then it just that would not be right. Even though I've seen them a couple times. I seen Pantera open up for Suicidal Tendencies and Exodus at Painter's Mill. I won tickets from 97 Underground back in the day. I won tickets from 97 Underground. You should go to 97underground.com. They're still there. They're still there for you to listen to. If you want to listen now, good show, man. With Dimebag, I seen them in their heyday when they're really kicking ass. And I would have loved to seen Charlie Benante and Zach play. That would have been an awesome concert tomorrow. But If I can't take my wonderful wife, I'm not going to leave her home, and go watch a good concert while she's got to stay in. Eddie Gross, what's up, Eddie? What's up? I'm kind of done with the fishing stuff. Right now I'm a bullshit for a little bit, before I get off. But I'm just saying I'm not against the technology. I just think that yeah, I know. As soon as I heard they were coming, I told the old lady, I was like, come on. I said, man, I wonder if we can get out, but we can't. We can't. We can't right now. So we're very, and I go fishing and I kind of leave her behind. So I feel bad, but yeah, that was been. I seen him at Hammerjacks. I seen Pantower at Hammerjacks. I think that's 32 times I've seen him. I've seen him at Painter's Mill, and I've seen him at Hammerjacks. Yeah, it was Painter Mill and Hammerjacks. But the wife would be up here. I kicked everybody out of my room. I kicked everybody out of the room, and then really just chilling out. So every Saturday I'm going to go live. Like I said, I've been trying to. You never been to Hammerjacks? I've been there a couple times, maybe 10 times. I didn't go there a lot. I didn't like going downtown for the most part. It's really, you want to hear a really crazy story why my wife even stays with me? I don't know why she stays with me. So when we first met, we met at 19. We were 19 years old when we met. And on my birthday we were 20 and I turned 21. I think it was 20. I just turned 21. That's what it was. I just turned 21. And Terry Conley and the guys from Purple Jimmy and all that stuff. I went with Terry Conley and we all went. He took me out for my birthday, and my wife, not wife then, but girlfriend then, she sat home, and then I came home and she had a cake and she had everything, and I went out with the boys like a dummy. Won't ever do that again. I'll never leave my woman home again. If I'm going to go to a concert, she's going to be with me, and she's watching, so I better say some good stuff. But yeah, I'm not going to play music tonight. I'm going to click out of this. I'm going to stop sharing. Yeah. So when it comes to fishing, I think fishing should be somebody that took the time, like somebody that practiced to be as good as they are. I mean, that's when we're watching football players and basketball players and baseball players. They're good for a reason. They're good. They're good no matter how athletic you are. Still, when you're a football player or a baseball player, it's just, I mean, it takes hours and hours and hours of practicing and all the stuff that you need to do. And for a bass fisherman to spend all that time on the water and learn everything that they can, to now just anybody can pretty much come up and put this thing down and scan around. You might have a little knowledge, but for the most part, I mean, these young kids, I don't think they put their time in to be where they are. I mean, there's always that one special person that can do it, but for the most part, there's too many of them coming out of nowhere. When you put Kevin Van Dam when you put him in a retirement, then that's a pretty sad day for me. But I enjoy watching it. I watch a little bit. I don't watch the classic anymore because it was funny how my buddy put it to me. He goes, "Why would you want to watch the Super Bowl every year and never have the like the Brady's and the Mannings and the top players in the NFL or your favorite players? Why wouldn't you want to watch them in the Super Bowl?" So the same thing with the Bassmaster Classic. That's coming up real soon. I'm going to watch it because some of my favorite fishermen are actually in this one. Kevin ain't there, but I have Greg Hackney and Jason Christie. They're like my favorite. Got top one. They're on my top 5. Watching the fish, but I think I'm going to tell the woman, Lori Tudor here, let her come up, and she's going to hang out, and I'm going to have a beer with my wife. Have a beer with her, and I'll do something a little bit better next week. This week, once I seen that other podcast, I just said, you know what, I'm going to talk about it because I'm a bass fisherman. I love bass fishing. I'm not so much in love with snakeheads. I fish for them because it's just another fish to fish for. I'm going to be doing some, some more catfishing and stuff. And tomorrow, I'm just going to go from the bank. I'm not even taking the boat. I'm just going off the bank tomorrow, either grabbing some worms, bloodworms, or I'm going to go grab some minnows, and I'm going to go catch some yellow perch tomorrow. And then I'm going to cook something up, make a video at it, and make a video of it and put it up hopefully by next week. I think I have one more crabbing video. The last crabbing video in October. I think it was October. We did one more crabbing video. That was the last one because we had a cold front, and then it got real warm. And then I got good news, and we decided to go out. And I won't give you the snakeheads are bycatch. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they're here. They're another thing. They're going to stay. And I'm not against anybody who wants to fish for them. I know there's a lot of issues with them, talking about them about, how they didn't have an impact. And when we were down Blackwater, when you go down to Chick or you go down to Transquake, and there was definitely an impact down there. Definitely an impact. And when you hear the locals talk, the fun part is you go to the local guys, the guys that go there and fish all the time, and they're saying, well, this is happening, this is happening, this is happening. And then a lot of times, that people want to listen to some scientist that, I don't know. You just, you got to listen to the locals. That's the way I look at it. I mean, I'm thinking about going down to the Chick. I wouldn't mind going down and maybe catching. I want to send one down to Russ down in Mississippi. Oh, man, I tell you, Pantera's the night. Pantera, Tommy, that would be a good show. You should have went, buddy. Nobody would go with you at all? Yeah. You're gonna get me on carp. Come on, man. I've been waiting for 2 years to go carp fishing with you. I know. I really want to. I want to beat my my PB catfish this year. My big catfish is 41 pounds. I want to get at least a 45 to 50 pounder. So that's my little goal. Maybe I'll get front facing sonar or something. You should try it, man. I'm telling you, Ben, they're pretty good eating, buddy. I do it pretty simple. I mean, just Old Bay and butter. Put some butter in a pan. Put some butter in the pan and let it cook. Flip it over. Put some Old Bay on it, and it's really good. Good, nice and firm. The last video I just put out was I did some sea bass. That sea bass was good. I was impressed. It was like that's one of the most mild fish I think I've ever had. Had no fishy taste whatsoever. Nothing even crazy. I really liked it. Most of my friends that I grew up with that listen to metal are dead or in prison. Nice. Thank God you pulled out of whatever that was. Man. Well, good. Hopefully, as a friend here, sea bass is great. You got a friend here. He'd come down to the dungeon and hang out with you, make a video down there. I've been telling you since last year. Uh-oh, Lori Tudor's here. Lori Tudor's here. Would your mom go to bed? No. All right, so I've been going a little bit over an hour. All right. Front facing sonar, I think should not be in professional bass fishing. That is my opinion, period. If you're a professional, you should be a professional. You should need 5 screens on your boat and 5 transducers to look for a fish, to scan around for a fish. I think it's ridiculous. And I'm getting ready to leave, and I'm going to watch some music videos all night. I would do it on here. I could bring the old lady on, but I don't think she really wants to do it tonight. And well, I don't think I'm not I wouldn't mind playing some videos or something, but I don't think I'm really into that. Tommy Rising soon. Yeah, man. I'm like, sea bass is delicious. Yes, man. It was good. I stuffed it. So we took some of the crab meat we had, and I stuffed that sea bass with crab meat. I don't think I have the earphones plugged in. earphones plugged in. I think the mic's in. The mic's on. I think the mic is on. Look at me. Look at me. I had the mic all ready for you. Just a tough neighborhood lumberyard in South Baltimore. There's the old lady. No, I don't get the camera really on you.
You don't need to have the camera on me. I'm good.
I'll turn it a little bit. Turn it a little bit for the wife. It's a Saturday night. We're boring. We don't do nothing.
Very boring.
Pantera's
I know.
playing
In Baltimore, I know.
and I can't leave her home.
I already heard the stuff going on. So.
Yeah, I know. don't leave home. No, it's not fair. It's not right.
Exactly. I'll go to Pantera. Somebody take me.
Yeah, you would leave me here, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I would. You can have all the dogs and my mom.
Good grief.
Yeah.
Now that we're done talking about bass fishing, the reef roller. Hey, what's up, Earl? I've been putting designs on shirts and everything. I just got the one back. I told Earl that I would give when the guy. So we did the one logo with the guy, and for some reason, I don't know, it didn't turn out exactly how I wanted it. But what it did look like, and the way it all looked like, it kind of reminded me of, I could have made it into a Dungeness looking crab. I watch his reef robber is
I've heard
commercial fishing. See, he goes out commercial fishing. What were you fishing for? I didn't ever put the link out. You guys are awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. We like chilling out, drinking. We just drink a couple of beers and we like listening to music. So when I get off here, I'll go and we'll just go listen to some music videos and stuff and chill out. Yep. Lingcod. See, now that's a difference. I've been in the ocean one time, and that was the video I put up a little while back. I went and did some sea bass fishing. So I have never been offshore because I was always scared of getting seasick. I used to get seasick in the bay. And I'm talking just like 1 foot rollers of boats going by. I used to mess me up. I've gotten really better, but so I went out. I didn't take no Dramamine. It was only calling for 5 to 10 mile an hour winds. So I'm thinking, all right, I'll go out. And I went on a head boat. Did pretty good. So how'd you do with the Lingcod today? Are you making a video of it? Maybe that's the question I need to say. Reef Robber, every Monday night, he goes live around 9 o'clock, and I am already way in bed. I'm in bed at around 6 o'clock because I get up at 1:30. And I get up at 1:30 in the morning. I think I head to work around a little bit after 2 in the morning. And on Tuesday mornings, I'm listening to the Reef Robber and his live stream.
Yeah.
I mean, it gets rough on my side. I can only imagine it must get really, really rough on the Pacific Ocean. Were you in a real big boat or pretty much the size of your boat? My first beer tonight. It's very cold. I didn't put the link in here. Maybe I'll hold on for a second. I don't know if anybody really wants to come up. Oh, that's not what I wanted. I wanted this one. I'm getting better at this.
What happens when you press one of these? Nothing.
You can, yeah. You don't hear it.
I hear stuff.
You don't hear it on here. I don't got the thing plugged in.
No, I hear something like the whole audience.
I got a keyboard, soundboard on here and everything. Music.
I don't know. I see buttons. I want to push them.
Yeah, well, don't do that. The 69 pounds of Lingcod is about an hour and a half. It was an 18-foot boat. Yeah, that's a pretty small boat. But did you go out and did you stay closer? Like I would say, in a bay, or did you actually head out? How far did you go out to get them? Hold on one second. See, I don't know how to pin that. I just put the StreamYard link up there if somebody wants to come on, but See, I need to learn how to see how I could do this. Wait a minute, hold on. No, that's not how you do it. How do you? Oh, there it is. Hold on.
What is lingcod? Never heard of that.
It's a fish on the Pacific Ocean.
Okay.
No, it's not that either. Reef hopper. South, but that's not. It's still 2-3 miles out. That still can get pretty damn crappy out there. There's the link to come in, but more Pacific. I'll learn this. I know there's a way to pin this up to the top, but no. It did get crabbed this. Yeah, man, it's how much did you have really pin from my phone? Through my interesting.
How do you pin? Maybe the dots.
Hold on 1 second. No. That's not what we want to do. Pin from your phone. Nope.
Look at the dots.
Yeah, but the dots aren't here.
3 dots.
There we go. Imagine that.
Cool.
And you know what I did? I just made Reef Robber a freaking
What?
a moderator. I got to do that in order. I got to go on my phone and make everybody a moderator or pin anything. Interesting.
Gotta get with the times, son.
Get with the times. Talking to the mic.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, I got it now. Now we're pinned.
We're pinned.
Yeah, we're pinned. That's an amazing accomplishment. We'll go to Tommy's on Facebook. Yeah, so I just started these lives. I just started to it's been about since before December, but not every weekend. So I'm trying to make them every weekend.
Yeah.
I know I'm going to go to the local pub once a month. Yep, Rachel's still out every day. I think Monday through Friday she's out there. As long as the weather holds up, she's out doing oystering. I know Crabbin's not too far away. She didn't do her the good thing this year, she didn't take her boat. You can make your mod from the computer, but you have to go to the YouTube. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Well, that was cool. I just did it on my phone. That was actually a lot quicker. I'm learning. So I do this I'm trying to get a guest on every time. And today I'm telling you what, to get guests. I mean, like I've been trying to get some big YouTubers, YouTubers that have like over 100,000 subscribers. I think Luke's going to come on. I think he'll probably go to the one spot if I can get in there. I've been going on location and doing these live streams, and but I think I'm going to just stick here and bring them in on the link. That seems to be easier on me because all the equipment that I'm taking, it really isn't horrible. It's really not not horrible to take it because once I take everything apart and get it and take it over, it's pretty it's not that hard to set up. But sometimes I got to take the table with me. I got to take everything with me. So, yeah, he don't live that far from me. And we were supposed to go to a local tackle shop not too far by me. Him and CJ were coming. Well, let me tell you what, him and CJ right now, if you ever seen one of our what was I getting ready to say? Oh, so one of these you're talking, I got a YouTuber that I watch all the time, and he's got over 10 million subscribers. Well, he did a thing with Luke and CJ last year. It's called a best review show, best food review show ever, something like that. It's got Sonny as the host, wears a red bandana all the time. Well, he came down with them guys, and their next show, the next video that he puts out, is going to have him, Luke, and CJ on it. Oh, them guys! You think Luke's last year? I think he's got over 1 million subs or followers on TikTok, and he's got about that many on Instagram. But he only had like 10 or 15,000 subscribers like last year. He's getting close to 500,000 subscribers. You know what I mean? That's crazy. And Reef Robber just hit, I think did you hit 21 or 22,000 subs? Wow. I know you just hit you're over 20,000 subscribers. So if you want to see Dungeness crabbing, go to Reef Robber. He just hit 22,000 subs. It's rolling. I know that once is 23,000. Nice. Almost 23,000. So they said once them subs start rolling, they just, before you know it, man, they just keep rolling. I had that start last year. It started to snowball, and as it started snowballing, then everything happened with my knee. I wasn't putting out a lot of videos, and I don't know if I said the F word or something, but usually by now I just put a crabbing video up. Usually when I put a crabbing video up, I would be close to 2,000 views by now.
I can't. Summertime.
I can't. It's been hard for me to break. It's been hard for me to break a freaking. It's been hard for me to break 500. It takes me to get 1,000 views on it. It takes probably about a month, where it used to take me about a day and a half.
Right.
Are you talking about Luke? Yeah, Luke McFadden. Yeah, he was supposed to come down to Fishbones. And so I contact Fishbones. I talked to him a couple of times, email, and I actually went down there. And then, so setting up a date, we were setting up a date, and so I emailed George. I think his name's George. I emailed him again, and I said, I gave him a couple dates. He never responded. I went back and did it again. I think the store was so little. Somebody had mentioned that he didn't think that he would want so George I think it's a small place, and I don't know if he wanted maybe a bunch of people there. I don't know. I don't know if he wanted the commotion there. Yeah, Tommy. Yeah, they're on Facebook. So I am on my Sam Tudor, my regular Facebook page. I am on Outdoors of Maryland Facebook page and on my YouTube channel. Yeah, so Reef Robber just you put your link in there too, Reef Robber. Obviously, put that in there. You can go check these guys out. I mean, they're really they're on the West Coast. He does some trapping. Reef Robber, he does some trapping, but a lot of it's out in the ocean, doing some Dungeness crabbing and stuff. And he does a lot of. Yeah, he's kind of a small. There's the Reef Robber. There's his YouTube page. Make sure you click on it. I don't have like a crap ton of people in here because I didn't put it out until like this morning that I was coming on live at 6:30. So this is going to be a regular thing. I think 6:30 might be good until summer comes. Once summer comes, we're going to be out freaking. If we're not crabbing, we're going to be out crabbing or something. We try to get out as much as we can to crab. My wife loves it. She is an absolute fanatic about it, and it's just something we love doing together. We have fun busting on each other, and it's been she's very excited to go out crabbing, and we don't pay the prices. I mean, man, there were some bushels of crabs were going for like not three, $400-500 for like a bushel. I'm Christ, you're paying almost $100 for $100 for a dozen of crabs. Whew. That's crazy. Yeah, but we would do it maybe once a year.
Back in the day when we lived down in Baltimore, we go to what's that place?
Bill's Terrace.
Bill's Terrace and pay $100.
Yeah, but we only did it once.
Yeah, maybe
once or twice. I mean, if you're going to go get the big jumbos and it's a special occasion and you're going to take your wife out or something, that's a good idea to do. But whoo, to pay $100 for crabs, it's easier for you to go take some string and a chicken neck and go off the shore somewhere. You know, go out there and catch your own. I mean, you don't even need a license. You can catch up to two. I think they said if you're from the bank, you can put as many string lines out as you want, and you're allowed to keep, without a license, you can keep 2 dozen of crabs. You can keep 2 dozen of crabs. I'm getting ready to do a video on trout lining and traps. Yeah. Yeah, I like wouldn't mind you. So I'm going to get together because since I watch you all the time, and it seems like you got some really cool people that come on your live stream all the time, and you give a lot of stickers away. I'm setting up right now a shop for the new logo. Can I where is, how can I put that up there? Let me see if I can share. I don't think I got the new, hold on. I got it on my phone and this is the one for you, Reef Robber. It's a I don't know if you're going to be able to see it. Oh, you're not going to be able to see it. You're not going to be able to see it. That stinks. Can you see it? Can you see it? The lights. No. So it's got a crab coming through it. It's all set up like a Dungeness crab. Maybe. That's not going to work. And then I have the new one. This one looks more like a blue crab. You're not going to be able to see it. That one looks more like a blue crab. It's going to be kind of the same thing, but actually a blue crab. Look, a blue looking crab. That's going to go on shirts. And once I get a shirt made up, buddy, I'm going to send it out, and you can give it away on your thing, man. Yeah, you can give it away to one of your listeners. I know you give a lot away. You got a lot of loyal people to come there every Monday night to check you out. So that'll be cool. That'll be cool for them. There's a lot of nice people in there. And it entertains me while I go to work in the morning. All right. Well, I'll tell you what, I think I've been on here an hour and a half crying about forward-facing sonar for bass fishing. But as we're next week, I think, when is it? March 10th? Was it March 10th? We spring forward or something? March 10th. Yep, Sunday, March 10th. We spring forward. And spring is right around the corner. Yellow perch. I'm going to go catch me some stinking yellow perch tomorrow, and I'm gonna bring it home. I'm gonna video it. We're gonna do a nice catch and cook with it. If I got to catch them. They are running up there. Hopefully, I can just sit off the bank. I'm not taking a boat out. I'm going to go right up downtown and sit right there in a chair and go catch me some yellow perch, maybe even a catfish. And I think this year I'm taking a grandson out to go get him a big catfish. We got some big catfish around us. And Should be fun. I think it'd be really fun. All right, the wives gave up, and anybody that's been in here, I appreciate it. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to knock this out. It's been an hour and a half. Thank you for stopping by. And if you are a professional bass fisherman that is watching this one, you suck because you got the four getting all that shit, getting all that stuff on your boat is crazy. All right. All right, Reef. Hey, Earl, thank you for stopping by. Tommy, you the man. JJ, hunting stuff. Thank you very much. I used to watch your stuff all the time. I don't see you go live too much anymore, but if you do, Ben, thank you everybody for watching. I appreciate it.